So I just watched you guys perform at the Rocklister stage for the NEMIS bands for Sweden Rock. You guys have a really great rock sound.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I mean, it's just really, I grew up on rock, and I think that's really cool when you find bands that still just hit that real flavor, because you know, there's so many genres in rock music and metal. How did you guys pick your style? I mean, were you in love with the bands, like a sound from years before, and it just kind of, where you got your sound from, or?
Well, I can tell that story. Well, the music is based in punk and metal. When you go and see a punk band, there's like an unbridled energy. There's not much thinking. If you play wrong, we don't care. We just want our story out, our music, our energy. Let it all out. And metal these days, they have that kind of, they have a focused kind of energy without the unbridled energy. So how do you combine those two? Well, when Thrash emerged in the 80s, early 80s, Slayer and so forth, they had a lot of punk energy because young humans that want to just explode, and they sounded like underground and punk, but they wanted to play a bit metal as well, and they mixed it. But then, quite quickly, Slayer and Metallica and other bands, they became huge quite early. So there were no the creativity, the window of creativity, where you could do anything with these two, with thrash, metal and punk. It was it was close, because then everyone would sound like Metallica or Slayer. So the creativity, the genre had already been laid down. So what we thought, we want to have that unbridled energy of the punk and open up that window again and be able to do exactly anything we want inside the frame of punk and metal and that is Thrash. So it's our creative space. We open up that again.
Yeah, and you guys have, I like to say when I'm talking to bands, especially when people don't know who you are yet, or like I'm from Seattle and you guys are from Sweden, so it's going to be back in Seattle, but we have readers all over the world and people that are going to watch this, and I like to, when I hear a band, and you can hear some elements of other bands that you would hear, but then you guys have your own unique sound where you can say, okay, they sound familiar, but they've got their own sound, and I really think that's cool. That, I mean, have you guys been together for a long time, or because it is
2 years?
So you guys have already kind of developed your own sound, which is really cool.
If I can say something, I think it is because we're really broad in our musical tastes. I think that's probably a key to why it sounds a bit, can't quite pinpoint it. We're not just like a genre specific thing,
right?
Because we've been like through, I don't know, loads of punk bands, metal bands. We played loads of different styles of music, and I think probably that's what makes us sound a bit like you don't quite know what is this. I can sound a bit of this. I can hear a bit of this and a bit of that, and I think that's because we have so diverse tastes.
Well, it's hard for a band today to actually not sound some elements of somebody's band, because there's so much music out there that, and you've got those influences that you've had, but then where you developed, where you're able to have those influences, but you still, okay, you kind of sound here, but then they can put the finger on it. It's the kind of cool where that's your sound, it's your own uniqueness, and it's really cool. So you guys have been together for 2 years. Have you put an album out yet?
No, not really. Just a digital EP.
Okay.
And a single. But we have one vinyl single out now. That's called Aleppo. And there are 2 other songs. Well, there are 2 A-sides. So our debut album is due this fall or early winter. So we're doing new songs and recording it in September. So we're just fresh out of the box, really.
And who are you going to be working with on your album?
Yeah, we were going to work with a man called Ulf Blomberg, and he's a technician, producer, and he's really into, he's a punk, because we want to have somebody that understands that, and he plays in loads of bands as well, so he's going to help us sustain.
He's into the hardcore punk scene,
Yes,
basically. But he's a really good technician and producer. And we recorded the EP and single with him as well. So we worked with him before. And he was really good, you know, with bringing out the stuff. He sort of understood what we were trying to do, I think. So yeah, we're going to give him another shot.
So let me ask you, when it's still early on, Dead Sleep, how did you pick your name? See, it's not like you guys have been asked this a million times yet. So
we had reload these lists of different bands, and but I think Marcus came with it. In the end, like, let's just be called Dead Sleep and be done with it. We were like, yeah, that's a pretty cool name.
Yes, that's it.
I mean, you can probably read lots of stuff into it, like the human sort of our state of not really being awake, basically, just sort of letting things in life, not really taking a stand, just sort of walking around like semi-dazed. But that's just, you can interpret whatever you want to into that name. That's probably why we picked it, I think.
Keep everybody guessing. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you're here at Sweden Rock, and you guys just performed. So what do you have on your schedule after Sweden Rock? Are you guys touring, or what's going on with you?
We are going to Gävle Metal Festival. So that's in a month's time.
Yeah.
Then right after that, we will start recording our album. So.
And Gävle Metal Festival is quite interesting because it's like just dedicated to these extreme metal bands. So it's just death metal and thrash metal and black metal, I think. So it's going to be a slightly different environment than this.
Yeah.
So this is like general rock. It's so broad, you know. So.
Yeah, and there's always somebody surprising here that we always go, how did they get on the bill? But, but it's so broad, and people here just they come for the fun, and so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's more niche, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So have you toured out of Sweden yet at all?
No, we haven't been touring. No.
No.
So we're just
fresh
out of the box, looking for opportunities. We have a record label called Denominator.
Denomination.
Well, it's a sub label for his other things. So he's been around for many years, having a record store in Malmö where you could go and buy hard music like metal and punk and so on. And he survived all this year going into the internet and web stores, and he has several labels like Transsubstans and where they have a psych rock and kind of music like that. And then he wanted a thrash band. So he said, I need a thrash band. So then he saw us, and yes. So his name is Johnny. Denomination.
So who are your musical influences?
Yes, it's very broad.
It's very broad, but I think, you know, I grew up with DRI and stuff like that, if you know the hardcore, not trash, but sort of crossover bands and stuff like that, sort of the harder hardcore bands, Black Flag and all that stuff. But then, I suppose, stuff like Slayer and Metallica we've all been listening to, and listen to loads of death metal and stuff like that. It's not so much, obviously, death metal in our sound.
As well as new wave British and heavy metal
Oh,
as well.
absolutely.
So we have those kind of Saxon, Judas Priest elements as well.
And New Malmsteen as well.
And in the Malmsteen as well.
That's a legend.
Okay.
Yes,
I would like to make it fun as well. Just entertaining.
Yeah, he was just in Seattle, so yeah.
All right.
I listen a lot to death metal. So obviously my
he's
favorite
for death
bands,
metal. I listened a lot to grunge when I grew up.
So grunge. How did you take Chris Cornell's passing? Because that
was sad.
It was just
Very sad.
we got hit really hard in Seattle. It was just like
I think it was so unexpected.
Yeah,
I didn't know he had any problems at all. His life and so on.
Yeah, I think there's a huge stigma in around the world, but in the States about mental health and mental awareness, and if you don't quite fit the norm, people don't really talk about it because they're afraid of being shamed, and it just kind of it was really shocking for the music, the whole industry. We're just kind of, and I've talked to a lot of bands about it because any genre, it's kind of crosses over, and they're just like Chris Cornell, grunge. I mean, But before grunge, Seattle, we've always been a rock town too. So we've got, you know, the Queen's Rights, and Heart, Q5s, and good music up there.
Yeah.
So are you involved in any other projects?
No, this is we have other bands, but there are like in other genres, so we don't need to maybe bring those into here.
So it's got to be a shocking genre.
Well, shocking.
Shocking, yeah. Surprising.
But we have a lot of music in us, so we want to get everything out, and so why not do it?
Absolutely.
It's quite nice because since we just been as a band for 2 years, we have almost. I mean, I've been playing drums for 30 years now, and so 30,
Yeah, about
19,
20.
120 years of experience in the music and the hard music. So we have a lot of experience with it. So it's very nice to have the experience with us when we now make our music, because I think that's one of the greatest thing with Dead Sleep is that we are punks, we are metal, we into the hard music, but we have the experience with us when we put the music out. We do the music.
So being in the industry and playing music as long as you have, what's been the biggest, I guess, maybe the eye-opening or shocking thing about how the music industry has changed over the years for you that you've noticed?
Maybe
Yeah, I don't know. I think probably we have different experiences from that. We've all played in different bands and all that, but you know, I had one band in the 90s that you know, it was a totally different thing with major record companies and how they were scouting, and you always got this. They paid in advance and all this sort of thing. And I was never comfortable with that because I'm a punk at heart.
Yes.
I always wanted to do my own thing. So for me, it's not devastating that we're now back to square one. We now have to do the DIY thing all over again. But you know, it's just the way things should be. I feel, even though sometimes you just feel like really tired. God, I have to do everything myself. You know, there's. And Marcus also played in quite a big band and you are on tours and everything, but I think we've all gone through that phase of you put your hopes to the big companies and they always come up short. They never deliver what they promise to do. So then you find yourself back at square one, you have to do everything from scratch, then you have creative control, and in the end it's actually it's better, even though there's so much more work in it. So yeah, that's probably the major difference between how it worked before and how it works now. I mean, you have to be on such a high level to have the sort of backing of a record company and money, you know, make money. We don't make any money,
but
as
even
it is now. But
and even you're saying they have even that with the big labels. They're not full service labels like that, you know, that they used to be. I mean, I hear it in the industry a lot that there's not PR or they're missing one piece or the other, and so it's still not quite there.
No, and you often have to pay your own recording, which is obviously, you know, with expensive studios, it's quite a lot of money, and so it's different. It's really different from how it worked before the millennium shift and all that. But
So, do you love what you do in music?
of course,
It's in the heart.
It's hard work,
It's really in the heart.
But it's hard, but it's a good heart.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's for the love now. We'll just do it for the love.
So for fans that are going to find you and people that are up and coming that look up to the punk, and do you have any advice for them?
Well, I think it's just going to be cliches now. Stay true to yourself. Believe in your ideas. Don't be afraid of hard work, but just hang on to your ideas, because if you've got passion, it's going to show. In the end, you're going to get your following. But you have to stay true and not like listen to people's opinions. Just fuck them. You know, it's you know best. I mean, if you follow your passion, you're not going to go wrong. Basically, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
we're going to get the word out about you guys in the States. So this is going to be
Great.
really cool.
Want to go there.
Yeah. So we hope to see you. So
that would be great.
Really great.
great. Thank you.